Hi everyone, this is just a short video to go over some of the options that you have available to you to study science at sixth form. Okay, and in this video, I'm going to be talking to you about A-level chemistry and a bit about the course, a bit about what careers or degrees that it could lead to. But if you are considering any of the science options and you're not sure which ones to choose, then please make sure that you view all of the videos as we do offer the BTEC Applied Science Level 3. We offer A-level biology, A-level chemistry, and A-level physics at Lamwern sixth form. So I'm going to talk to you about A-level chemistry. So I'm just going to present my screen as I have a presentation for you to look at. Okay, so it's important to note straight away that this is a full A-level, which is offered by WJC, which is the exam board that we follow at Lamwern. Okay, and a little bit about the course. In terms of entry requirements, for all our A-levels, you do need, and this is for the A-levels, not the BTEC Applied Science, so that has a separate entry requirement, but for all of the A-levels in the sciences, biology, chemistry, and physics, you need a minimum of a B grade in that science. Or if you only study double science, then a B grade in that, potentially through higher tier papers. Although I know that you won't be sitting any exams this year, please check with your teacher if you were going to be entered for higher tier or not. So you need to be a minimum of a B grade in chemistry to study chemistry. And you do need at least a C grade in GCSE maths because there is a certain level of demand in A-level chemistry and a certain level of calculation work, which is very important when doing chemical calculations. How is the course going to work? Well, you sit 2 exams in year 12, which is unit 1 and 2, and that gives you your AS level, which is a qualification on its own, which is half of a full A level, which means that at the end of year 12, if you've got a full selection of qualifications and you can still continue with others, then you can choose to end the qualification at the end of year 12 and bank an AS level and carry on with the rest of your subjects. But remember, that's only if you do, and are currently studying enough qualifications to do so. And you have 2 exams in year 13 and a practical assessment in year 13, which complete the full A2 level. So the full A level comes from all 4 exams and your practical assessment. So who would you have who are teaching the course? So at the moment, the teachers that teach A-level chemistry is Miss Lockett and myself. So lucky you. So the course itself, this is just a little bit of a very, very quick skim over what you will be learning. You'll be learning unit 1 and 2, which is the language of chemistry, structure of matter, and simple reactions. And unit 2 is for energy, rate, and chemistry of carbon compounds. And then you will study in year 13, physical and inorganic chemistry, organic chemistry and analysis, and then a practical assessment, which is like your coursework, which is worth 10% of your overall A level. So you've got those 2 AS units and then 3 A2 units, including the practical assessment coursework in year 13. Some of the stuff that you'll study at A level, again, I'm just going to skim through, but you'll study a lot more in detail about some of the basics behind chemistry. So some, in more detail about electronic structure, atoms, radioactivity, ionization. You'll learn a lot about what really underpins chemistry. And then as you go into sort of unit 2, 3, and 4, you'll use that knowledge of bonding and atoms and atomic structure, electronic structure, to be able to explain how different compounds, different chemicals behave, how they react with each other, how they relate to industry and how we produce certain chemicals on an industrial scale. And it's really, really interesting how it then links to the real world and understanding chemistry in detail, how that gives you so much better understanding of some of the details of the scientific world and chemicals. So some of the course highlight for you here, you will be learning some really new interesting topics. So you'll learn about the different lights that are submitted when a voltage is applied to excite certain gases. You will learn about lots of different topics. As I said a second ago, it's not enough time in this video to talk through that. However, if you are interested in a particular part of chemistry, let us know. Give us an email. We can tell you what's on the course. We can tell you a little bit more about it. The second thing I'd like to bring to your attention is that we do have an annual trip that we go on, which is to the Science in Health Live, which is at the Cardiff University Hospital in the Heath Hospital in Cardiff. It's great. So this is a former pupil that's in an anti-gravity treadmill here. So this is one of our own photos. And you get to just really see some of the amazing equipment that's used in hospitals now for diagnosis and treatment. And you get a little bit of an insight into what it would be like to work in a medical background, which could be a choice that you may want to go down if you are studying biology or chemistry or even physics. So where could this take you? I'll talk to you in a second about some of the degrees that are popular for students with A-level chemistry. The career opportunities for A-level sciences are endless. These are really, really sought after A-levels. Universities, very, highly regard A-level sciences. There is a reason for that. They are difficult, so I wouldn't lie to you there. They are a tricky set of qualifications. They do require a lot of effort, a lot of passion, and dedication to your study to be able to achieve the top grades in the science A levels. But if you are those things and you're passionate and you really want to go on to one of these sorts of careers, then it is extremely worthwhile. The last highlight I'd like to bring up is practical chemistry. So here's some of this year's A-level chemists completing a titration, okay? And you will do a lot more experimental science and practical chemistry if you take it at A-level. And that's because the classes are smaller. You can use some of our more, expensive and sophisticated equipment that we have because there are less of you. So we don't have to share, you do 10 pupils to each piece of equipment. We've got enough for the A-level groups to be able to complete these practical work. So here are some of the popular degrees for students of A-level chemistry. Just remember that it says here so many more, and that's because this is not the be-all and end-all. It depends on your full package of qualifications that unlock a huge range of degrees that you may want to study. So don't worry if you haven't made up your mind yet, but you could go off and study straight chemistry. You could study medicine with an A-level in chemistry, forensic science, pharmacy, pharmacology, chemical engineering, biochemistry, and they're the ones that are kind of specific to chemistry. But there is just a huge array of degrees that you could go on, or even just go straight into a job with A levels in sciences. They are very, highly regarded qualifications, recognized amongst, top employers across the UK. Possible careers then, obviously there's some obvious ones that you would have, doctors, things like that, but this is a website that's quite good. This is the Royal Society of Chemistry, so give it a look if you're interested in chem, because this is the exciting thing that you could go on. If you studied A-level chemistry, you could go on to being someone that develops new medicines, vaccines, and medical devices. We've seen how huge importance has been placed on the people and the scientists that have been able to work on and develop vaccines in such a short space of time to deal with this pandemic that we're in. This is a huge area that could attract the next scientists into this field. And you could be the next, scientists that go into working on new medicines to treat illnesses, and study and research there for some of the stuff that we just still, even though our medical system's amazing, there is still stuff we cannot treat, and we're working on that all the time. So you could be in a career that does that. You could be fixing the future, looking at the pressures on energy, food, water, and other natural resources so that we can live in a more sustainable world. So if you're very passionate about the environment and you want to strive for a more sustainable world, this could be what you would go on to. You could go into innovating industry. developing specialists, materials and smart materials and improving processes. You could be going into research. You could be becoming the catalyst to inspire others through teaching chemistry. So you could go on to be a teacher as well if you're brave enough. So they are some of the opportunities, but it's not limited to that. So please email us if there's anything, if there's a particular career that you want to do and you're not sure which A levels to take. Speak to Miss Brassington, speak to us as the science department, and that takes us to this. If you do have any questions, email myself, jwinship@lamwernhigh.org. You can email Miss Lockett, jlockett@lamwernhigh.org. Or, like I say, if you're not sure about the whole package of A levels or BTECs that you want to study, then you can also speak to Miss Brassington as the head of sixth form. Thank you.